Doing business has changed. Today, it's a virtual world with Zoom calls and video conferencing. We talk with Brian Davey on this.
Thank you, first of all, again, for inviting me to participate. Some of the things, most important things about being an entrepreneur today is you have to rely on online communication a lot because of the COVID situation and so forth. So we need to look at upping our game with respect to video and audio. And I just wanted to give some examples on how that can be done. Right now, as you know, you could see that I'm on my laptop camera, which, it's okay. It works. It gives you video. And then if we wanted to, for example, use your iPhone, there's a piece of software you could download. I think it's called EPOC, EPOCam, into your laptop, and also it's an app on your phone, and it's connected wirelessly. So I'll show you what the iPhone looks like when you hook it up wirelessly. So this is your iPhone or Android, whatever you want to use. And as you can tell right off the get-go, I hope it does offer a better view for the audience. So that's the iPhone, and it's good. It could be used as your webcam as well. It's no need to just rely on your laptop camera. So the next thing I'm going to go to now is called the Sony 6400. It's a camera that you normally use for taking pictures, for photography. But if you have access to a normal DSLR camera, you could hook it up and to your laptop and use that as your webcam. So let's go to that right now, and here it is. So I think it's coming through.
Yes, it is, and that's a much larger picture. We're using this is a Sony 6100 that I'm on right now.
Great, yeah, it looks great. So the nice thing about using upgrading, for example, if you're communicating with people that are in a remote community, or I know when I say remote, I'm saying this, I realize the bandwidth issue, the speed, but hopefully Starlink, which is starting to get some fame in some of the communities that don't have the bandwidth, it seems to be setting off some excitement, so which is good. It's upping the game in terms of bandwidth and speed. So, but one thing I wanted to show, the nice thing about using a camera for your webcam is you can rely on its autofocus. For example, they don't all have it, but the Sony 6400 has an autofocus, one of the best in the industry right now. So for example, if I wanted to show you a document, I don't have any stake in this in this company. I'm just showing you where I like to eat sometimes. It's a good, healthy food. So you can see how quick it comes into focus. See that? That is awesome. I think all leaders and all entrepreneurs should be using this right now. I'm not saying this is how we're but it's a good way of reviewing something really quick. If you have to show a receipt or an expense or an invoice, but that's one way. So you have the three options. Once again, I'll just recap. You got the webcam. All right. You got if you want to hook up your iPhone with the EPOC camera, that's how that looks. And then you have the Camlink, which is I should also talk a bit about that too. This is the Sony 6400. So in order to hook that up, you need what is called a Camlink. A Camlink is something you order from Amazon, Best Buy, and another source would be Elgato website. And they're responsible for manufacturing and building the Camlink. So Camlink is something that you put between your phone, and your camera and your laptop. So it makes your camera a webcam. So that's very important. You got to get that piece. There's no really software involved other than, which I'll get into another later. It's the lighting issue. So that's basically the camera situation. Moving away from the webcam on your laptop. If you wanted to use your iPhone, most people have iPhones or some kind of smart device that they can convert into, and this is wireless, by the way. The iPhone that I use, and of course the bigger game, which is the 6400 Sony. So that's the video part. If you're interested in upgrading on that one.
Now, one of the most important components, and we keep seeing this, is that good audio is key. You've got a microphone coming in there that's a little larger than, similar to what I'm using. This is a podcaster, a pod mic from Rode. And for those in Thunder Bay, this was from, we got this from Music Academy World on Simpson Street. And I'm running this into a Podcaster Pro, also from Rode. So this is an XLR mic going into the Podcaster. Then it goes out and into the computer. And I'm using a Blackmagic ATM Mini to do that. So I've got the capacity for up to 4 cameras on this system. I like what you're doing with the iPhone, because that gives you a little bit more flexibility, because you could be walking around with that camera to show things. If you had a typical setup as an entrepreneur and you had some of your products on it, you could almost be walking by with your iPhone and showing them, okay, this is, product A, product B, product C.
Right.
And, as long as you've got good audio, which, because people will tune out if they can't find the audio to work for them. They
Right.
blurring out. And this is coming through really well with audio.
Yes. So the mic, from what I've learned from listening to many folks that are familiar with audio and Zoom calls and other calls that rely on online communication, is that audio plays a large component of communicating over online. If the audio, you may have great video, but if the audio is coming through real crappy, you'll just lose the attention of the people that are listening. And if you have something that's really good, then that gives it's more effective in communicating with the people that are listening. Now, in my situation, I have it's called a Shure mic. It's a SM7B. It's a very common. You'll see these mics being used by a lot of podcasters. If you look at any ads on Instagram or Facebook, or where there's a mic in front of them, 50% of the time, 60% of the time, you'll see there's a Shure mic. I'm not saying that the mic you have is great. It's a great mic for sure, but I decided to go with this simply because, it's a tried and true as well, and it's something that I like the sound of, and it gives you, good depth to your voice. The only thing that we need to understand about mics is there's dynamic mics and there's condenser mics, right? So condenser mics are usually used in studios. When I was younger, I was a musician and I did some recording as well. And condenser mics we used a lot, simply because they're fantastically clear, and they relied on a lot of phantom power. You don't have that with the dynamic mic. A dynamic mic, it focuses on the immediate area, the voice, and it tries to cut out, not perfectly, but it cuts out a lot of the noise, like the furnace, like if there's a fan going on your computer, if there's a truck, people playing outside, you want a clean sound. And to get that clean sound, sometimes you have to boost the signal going to the. This is a dynamic mic, so to boost that signal, you have to rely on sometimes a booster, which in my case I used. It's called the Cloud Lifter. So you hook that up and you present that, and you put that in between your microphone and your auto interface. Now I should explain. The auto interface is something. So there's 3 pieces of equipment. to hook up to a laptop. All right, there's your auto interface in this case, and there's a cloud lifter, and there's a mic. Okay, so the auto interface, what that does is it allows you to connect a DSLR mic, XLR mic, I should say, to the laptop. So you plug it into the auto interface, and then that goes into your laptop, and that's how you get that sound going into the laptop and out into the ether. So that's very important. I'll just quickly show, in my case, what I did use. I hope I don't lose anybody's audio. Is if I can, let's try this way here. Without. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch cameras on you. Okay, here's the, I don't know if you can see it very well.
Oh, that's not bad.
So here's the Zoom. All right, so that's the Zoom H6. It's an audio interface. What that does, it allows the signal that you're putting into the mic, which is your voice, it's going into the Zoom, this little device here, and it's going into the laptop. And that's how you're hearing my voice as clean as it is. So that's extremely important. And of course, the cloud lifter is something that you put in between the microphone and the audio interface. So that gives you a boosts your signal to give it a cleaner sound. So all of this, unfortunately, it's not into one widget right at the moment, from a technological standpoint, but it provides what you need to give a good clear sound to your. I'm going to turn this back now to the Cam Link, or the Sony, I should say. Okay, just put this down. So that's how that all comes together. And the only other thing that I wanted to add was, that's the audio front, and maybe I can stop there unless you wanted to jump in there, James.
No, that's an interesting setup. I have the same Zoom recorder as well. I've used it more as a portable, going out to do audio. I haven't used it in the studio yet. And that's coming, right now with COVID, because things where we would normally be going out and meeting with people, we're now in. So what I look at is maybe the money you're saving in not traveling can go into some gear, and the gear is probably going to be needed for the next, perceivably 6 to 8 months to a year before things really start to wind down from the pandemic.
Right. The other thing that I wanted to add about the Zoom H6 is a bit of an overkill, but the reason why I use it is it's for recording. It's more used for recording than it is for an audio interface. But the reason why I think it's important is, if you want to do a podcast, you can hook up 4 people. If you're not using video, you could hook up 4 people. You can actually hook up 6, but 4, you've got 4 plugins for XLR microphones. So you can set that up, interview 4 people. The recording quality is just incredible. You can transfer that onto your laptop, and there you have your podcast. So that's one of the things that I use that for. But you can, there's smaller interfaces that are cheaper. For example, just to serve the purpose that we're doing here today, you could use it's called a Focusrite. It's a wine colored or red colored box. It's very small, and it's something that works very well. The cloud lifter, I have 2 inputs. I could just use one. I could get away with one, but the reason why I had 2 is because, just in case you want to do an interview or a podcast with a second person, and then with the same type of mic, that would be very valuable. So, they're always, when you're buying equipment, always think about your uses. There might be other things that you're thinking about that you want to do mobile, like go in the communities if you're flying somewhere when we can fly. So those are very important. So Anyway, but I also wanted to touch on the lighting, unless you had
Go ahead.
go right for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the lighting is extremely important. The reason why it's important is because you want to give a good visual presentation to your audience, particularly if you're displaying a product. And the reason why you have to have these lights that not have to, but it's good to have lights that you can dim to meet your needs. There might be just, not enough lighting in a situation where you have to increase the lighting situation. And there's usually a couple of them on each side. And I think I'll try again to show it to you, show you the lightings. These particular lightings are, I bought them from Elgato website, and they have great lighting. And you can adjust the warmth on them. You can go from far left, like tungsten, blue light, to a warm orange light or something in between. And you have a brightness dial on it. So those are things that you could download and put onto your iPhone or your Android or your laptop. So let me try this one last thing with you. That's a light that there's two of them. There's There's one here, of course, and there's the other one here. So it gives you the lighting that you do need to show a good visual on your when you're communicating with your customers or clients or just speaking to whoever. So that's important too. Normally what I've been taught was it's audio, it's lighting, and it's video. That's usually the priority. I don't know if that's the same with yourself, but that's what I'm hearing from some of the folks that I deal with.
That's pretty much the story, because we're doing a lot more with video than we've ever done with COVID and with new technology. 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, if you said Zoom, it went hurry up, or it meant the recorder brand that you've got.
Right.
And now we've got Zoom, and we've got people spending hours a day in Zoom calls talking to large audiences of people. And so the opportunity for businesses is so powerful, and you can do a lot with this. I mean, today when I'm working on this, I'm working off of a green screen in the studio. So I could shift, for example, and all of a sudden I could be using the library.
Right. That's great.
Or I could be coming in with another library.
Yeah.
Or if I'm doing a news report, I could be coming to you from inside the news studio. And this one here is a video with motion. As you can see in the back, the TVs are working. It can be a little bit of fun, but it depends on what you're doing and your setup at home. And this is where taking it to the next level is so important right now, because when you think of, for an entrepreneur here in Western and Northern Ontario or beyond, we're competing now with the world. It's not just the little local market. I can picture, for example, people even doing a video and learning a little bit of basic video editing off their iPhone with iMovie. And we could have the traditional, moccasins and mitts, and you could be marketing that online.
Yeah.
With a little bit of work.
Exactly.
And it could go right up to the most technical product you want to deal with.
Yeah. And there's a lot of help out there that you could rely on when it comes to selling products online. A lot of video websites, YouTube training sites that you can go to, particularly if you want to sell online, with how to set up landing pages, learn what a landing page is, how to take advantage of the funnel that's available, sales funnel that's available for different folks, whether it be drop funnels or click funnel or whatever you want to use. And it's all it's all geared to selling product online and making money. And there's so much advice out there right now. Some of it is free, some of it you have to pay for. There's no reason why anybody, any entrepreneur can do something online to do business. But it starts with getting the quality audio, the quality video, the quality lighting, and setting that up. It'll take time to accumulate a lot of this stuff, but you could start off with, for example, a phone. Just upgrade there. Like use your smartphone. Get away from your laptop camera or webcam, and then improve your audio. There's some cheaper alternatives out there, and there's no reason why you can't up the game sooner rather than later. So there's always room for improvement for sure.
And of course, Brian, for business people in the region, they can contact NADF and ask for, what kind of help you can offer from Anishinaabe Development Fund.
Exactly. So feel free to check out our website at nadf.org and contact us, and we'll do whatever we can to help you with the products we do have. Most of you probably know that our recognition in the marketplace is for small and medium-sized loans and grants to businesses, and that's what we do. But we also provide advisory. We try to help people over the phone, or well, in this case now Zoom, and try to do what we can with the knowledge that we've gained or acquired in serving people in developing their businesses.
And Brian, with that, we'll plan out for next time. And thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it. Have a great day.